Okay, fine.
The waiting is over. We're back.
I know you've been waiting for years and years and years, but we're here. Hello, welcome.
How long is it going to take you to edit this shit?
A while.
And years, apparently.
Yeah, years and years and years. I only release one episode a year. So
one episode every 6 years.
6 years. So we're older and wiser, and I hope we have wives and husbands and multiple
husbands?
children. Yeah, multiple husbands and multiple wives.
Oh, I didn't hear you say wives. I was like, girl. I was like,
well, right. I have the potential of a husband. Don't underestimate me.
No, you do. I'm saying
actually,
for me.
That is underestimating me.
Yeah, you
a husband.
you have the you have the potential.
I have that potential. Do I want to realize it? No.
Exactly. Yeah, that's where I'm trying to go with this. Welcome back.
Welcome back, everybody, to Bitches Meet World, which is a podcast about the show Boy Meets World.
About the show Family Guy.
About the show Family Guy. About the Cleveland Brown show.
It's called Bitches Meet World.
Called Bitches Meet World. I am a fan, and my name is Ronnie.
I have seen approximately 3 episodes at this point of the show. And my name is Caroline.
You figured it out.
Yeah. Forgot for a
second. And so today we are going to be talking about episode 103, maybe 104, depending. We're talking about an episode called Father Knows Less.
That's always true.
It's true. Father does know less.
He knows a lot less than me.
We're going to give a very quick TV blurb about what this episode was about. So each of us will. So
I want to go first.
Oh, you go first. Okay. You go first. Quick TV blurb. Couple sentences.
So Cleveland.
Oh my God.
So basically, God, I forgot all their names. Corey. He's like, Dad, let's spend some time together. I'm not gay or whatever. And his dad is like, you know what, son? You're not gay, but I can't spend time with you. And so he's like, shit. And so the dad's like, let me make this up. He's like, let me make this up to you. Come downstairs. Let's watch this game until 1 a.m., which is apparently crazy late for an 11-year-old.
For an 11-year-old, it is.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So they stay up. They watch the show. Next day, Corey, taking out a test with Mr. Feeney, falls asleep after he only answers one question, wakes up, is like, shit. He actually says that very explicitly. And Mr. Feeney is like, sucks to suck, fuck you, piece of shit, or whatever. Yeah. And his dad is like, please, Mr. Feeney, it's my fault. And he's like, yeah, it is your fault. Y'all both suck, bitches.
I wish he said it like that.
Yeah, he did say that. And then Mr. Feeney was like, you know what? Neither of you are gay, but I am. And it made me come to realize that I am regretful that my father didn't spend time with me. Yeah, my father didn't love me, and therefore I have extreme daddy issues, and I'm gay. Please be my daddy, Corey's dad.
Corey's dad become my dad.
Please,
thank you,
baby, my dog. I was like, who?
Please, Mr. Feeney's dad.
That's where and that's how the episode ends. Is he says, Pepper, the dog, is my dad. It's very emotional, and he reveals his dog ears, which he keeps under. Pepper, it's Mr. Feeney, your son.
Yeah, no, I'd say most of it was accurate till we got to the end there. So yeah, so basically, Corey and his dad want to spend time together, but they have to stay up late to do it, and then he fails a test, and then his dad's like, Mr. Feeney, it's my fault. And Mr. Feeney's like, yeah, it is. And then he's like, never mind. I have daddy issues, so that's probably my problem. And then they kind of resolve things, and Mr. Feeney's like, I'll be less harsh on you, and Corey's dad is like, I'm a good dad, and I will always be there for you, but we got to be responsible. That's pretty much it.
Happy medium, and Pepper is Feeney's dad. You forgot
And
that
Pepper
part.
is Feeney's dad, which is very important to the episode.
It's like half the episode.
Yeah.
The reveal.
If you didn't hear it before, Pepper is Caro's roommate's dog. So
Which I'm taking care of for the next week and a half. Can I tell the story of what has happened to me?
Go ahead.
So recently, around my birthday, my roommate was like, "Oh, by the way, like me
we're doing
and
this
your
whole backstory." Okay.
whole backstory was like, I'm going to England, where my dad is from, and I have family there." And I was like, "Oh, that's really cool." I was like, "So, like, what's the plan?" She was like, "Oh, I'm staying with Emma." I was like, "Oh, my sister, who I look up to a lot, and I'm scared to talk to because I think she's so cool and awesome, and I haven't seen it over a year. That's awesome. That's cool. Okay."
You should link her to this podcast. Make the.
I should make her feel real guilty. And so I was like, "That's fine, no, that's whatever." And then I find out, not only is my roommate going, but my dad's fiance. So basically, everybody and their fucking grandma is going to see my sister in London without me. And I'm like, "That's fine. My feelings are hurt, but that's fine." And then I find out, climax of this whole thing, they are going to see the West End production of the 9 to 5 musical. What?
Oh my god. He just blew the speakers out. Someone's headphones just like exploded. If you don't know, if you for some reason are just tuning in, because I know she talked about it before, Caro is a very big fan of Dolly Parton. And this is a tragedy. Truly is a tragedy to not be able to see. No, for real though, like, it's a sad thing. You should have been able to go to the musical. I know that it was like, whatever, not being able to buy a ticket or whatever, but it's still sad. You still want to go see a musical that you like, you know?
Yeah.
About
lesbians, about womanhood, about fucking
about
each
sexual
other.
harassment.
Yeah, that too. It's about lesbian sexual relationships and also sexual harassment in the workplace. Okay, maybe one of those things is
one of those things maybe extrapolated by a lesbian person.
Yeah, it's not at the forefront of the show, but there's subtextual things in the show that make you know that that's what it's really about.
I mean, I gotta say, it is really annoying that they make Violet's character straight. That's really annoying.
I agree. Thank you for watching Bitches Meet World, the 9 to 5 podcast.
The 9 to 5 podcast where we talk about 9 to 5.
And nothing else. I'm Caroline, and see you later.
Okay. So, there's that whole backstory. Who knows if we'll keep... How much of that we'll keep in? We'll see. I enjoy hearing... When I listen to other podcasts, I don't mind the rambling, as long as there's not too much of it, you know? I think that's a safe amount of rambling at this moment.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of this episode. Let's dive in deep.
Let's get into the nit and the grit.
At the beginning of the episode, the cold opening of the episode is Corey's copying his dad's lunch, and they're like talking about their man lunches. They're like,
"We're men. We don't put our potato chips in bags. We just throw them in a bag with everything else."
And then Corey poured a whole bunch of chocolate chips into his bag, and his dad was like, "You're smart. Like, no, they're all gonna melt. They're going to a Navy plane show in the middle of the hot sun. It's just gonna be a bag of melted chocolate chips in a sandwich." And then the mom was like, "You're gonna put an apple in here, okay?" And I'm like, "Whatever."
And he was like, "I'm not eating an apple. I'm not gay."
Yeah, he said, "I'm not a nozzle," or something like that.
Yeah, he did say, "I'm not a nozzle."
We're not nozzles, which is like, okay, that's
a slur.
Probably a slur. We know that Corey uses slurs, and there's another one for you.
Corey does use slurs.
A freakoid was the baby's baby slur.
I forgot about that.
And nozzle is the new one for this week.
Yeah, for like an effeminate man.
Yeah, that's what nozzle is an effeminate man.
Freakoid nozzle.
Damn, that's so mean to babies who are effeminate.
I really
That's
should.
literally calling out Minkus.
Oh, no, it's too much.
There's either a knock at the door or a ring at the doorbell. Don't remember. But Eric's on the phone and he's talking to a girl and he's like, just wear a turtleneck, it'll be fine. And his mom's like, what? And he goes, okay, I sucked a neck. I thought that was really funny.
And that's when Eric's vampire storyline unfolds.
Oh my god. The revelation. I sucked a neck, okay?
Well, see,
someone's blood, alright?
This is actually Twilight. Feeney's a werewolf. He's half dog. And then and then Eric's a vampire.
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
So, yeah, it's just unfurling.
Corey is the Loch Ness Monster.
You name my daughter after the
Loch Ness Monster?
Yeah, you name my daughter after the Loch Ness Monster?
No, you did, bitch.
No, you did. No, you did.
You named your daughter. Okay, anyway. This is a podcast about Twilight, Breaking Dawn Part 2. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, Mr. Lenny Spinelli is at the door, and he says, hello, I work for your father. I work for your husband. I just don't know if I make an impression on people. And Caro said that it had me energy. And
that is you.
I just gotta say, you're right. You're very right. Very anxious little Weasley man.
Yeah, that's how I would describe Ronnie. They said, describe Ronnie, an anxious, Weasley little man.
Thank you.
I think it was the whole, I just want to make an impression on people. Like,
I don't know if I make an impression on people. Yeah, we won't get into my issues, but I'm like, I'm invisible. No one thinks I'm there. I am him. We are one. I, again, don't know if he ever shows up again, but there's that.
The whole Mr. Spinelli gag happens frequently every episode.
Oh my god. How fucking... that would be so annoying.
I would kill myself. I would watch the show.
Yeah. Instead of... They get rid of Mr. Feeney and replace him with Mr. Spinelli. So they have an emergency at the store. He's the assistant manager at Corey's dad's store. They have a seltzer water and Alka-Seltzer emergency where it spilled everywhere. And so Corey's dad says, oh, we can't go to watch the Navy planes. I have to go fix this. And Corey says, you have to go. Come on. You have to spend time with me. I'm about to take my first ballet lesson. Which, like...
Homophobia.
Straight up. I mean, not necessarily because ballet lessons don't make you gay, but that's what he's implying.
He is.
I expect better from you. Take a ballet lesson and be a man.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of strength to be a male ballerina. Okay?
It does. Have you seen their calves?
They're strong. Strong as hell.
They're buff. Thank you for joining.
They can lift pretty girls all day, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You can lift hot babes, have huge calf muscles. Ballet is where it's at. Who wouldn't want to do that?
Hell yeah.
Thank you for joining us at Bitches Meet World, the ballet podcast.
Our ballet podcast. So, we know nothing about ballet. I know nothing about ballet.
I know a lot about ballet.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like, they are pretty.
Like that one scene in Black Swan where she like makes out with Mila Kunis.
Yeah,
that's the scene.
That's my
that's what you know about ballet.
That's my expansive knowledge of the dance ballet.
That's about it.
That's all you need.
Then later comes and wakes him up in the middle of the night and says, the game is on, the baseball game. I know nothing about sports. The baseball game is on. Why is a baseball game happening in the middle of the night? I thought it happened in the middle of the day.
Yeah, thinking about that. Yeah. They're just playing like
right?
They're just playing in the dark.
I guess they have lights. They can play at night. But I think about it in the middle of the day. I don't know.
I feel like when I picture a baseball game, I picture like 5 p.m.
I picture like 2 p.m. It takes forever. I hate baseball.
I fucking hate baseball.
It's so stupid, and I'm so glad that it doesn't continue to be Corey's favorite thing in the entire world, because I don't get it, and I can't relate.
Baseball is the most boring sport in the...
It is. And that's it. So they watch the game in the middle of the night, at like 1 a.m. Then, the next day, Corey falls asleep in class, and during the middle of a test, and only answered one thing, like you said, and Feeney's like, oh, you're getting an F. Oh, Feeney's like, oh, well, I can think of what grade this is going to be.
He said, the letter begin at the word fuck.
He says, si, senor. Si, senor, it does start at fuck. As in, I got a bad grade. And Minkus, and he's like, you should have stayed up watching something like the Nobel Peace Prize nominations or winners or whatever. And Minkus is like, yeah, I did that, and I'm fresh as a daisy. God, you freakoid nozzle.
No, I'm fresh as a daisy. That also sounds like
daisy.
That also sounds like an insult for being gay.
Yeah.
You see that fucking nozzle, dude? He's fresh as a daisy.
Fresh as a daisy, dude.
Dude, fuck that guy, man. I heard he's fresh as a daisy. Oh.
Bro, he's fresh as a daisy.
Yo, that freakoid nozzle kid, Farkus or whatever. What's his name? Farkle? Minkus? Minkus.
Farkle is his baby's baby. You have to remember that.
Right.
I feel like our fans of the show are our baby's baby.
What?
You know, you gotta have a name for your fans.
I was like, what are you saying?
Our fans are our baby's babies.
Our friends? Our friends?
Our friends who are the ones who are listening to this podcast?
Yeah. Our fans are our babies' babies. And if you don't like the show, well, I hate to break it to you, you're a nozzle.
You're a nozzle. You're a freakoid nozzle. So, take that.
She went
you
there.
can either be a baby's baby, or you can be a freakoid nozzle. Which do you want to be?
She went there.
I did, and I won't apologize for it. So, Corey comes home and says, Dad, I got an F on my test. Can you believe Feeney is such a asshole that he would fail me for staying up late? And his mom is literally right behind his dad. He didn't see him at all. Or he didn't see her at all.
Blind ass piece of.
I know. He needs some glasses or something.
Can't relate.
Or he's like 11 and he doesn't understand that people
have
are
ears.
In the same room. Yeah. Dad says, okay, I'm going to go talk to Mr. Feeney like right now about this because he is our neighbor and we can talk to him anytime we like. So I'm going to. And he says, and then Corey's mom says that good because he's grounded.
Oh, from this pussy.
Exactly.
She says that on the show. I'd like to note that this episode has been incredibly explicit. Not the episode of this podcast, the episode of Boy Meets World. I mean,
yeah, it was weirdly vulgar.
Fuck shit. And also, she said, "You're grounded from this pussy, baby."
Damn, I gotta get that pussy back, so I gotta go talk to his teacher.
He said, "Spare coochie, ma'am."
Spare coochie, ma'am? She said, "No, ma'am." So, Dad goes and tries to talk to Mr. Feeney. Says, dude, like, what the fuck?
Please, boss, I'm trying to get some coochie.
And Mr. Feeney's like, can't relate.
Can't relate. I never want coochie because I am a gay man. Thank you.
Again, I said this before. I don't know if I was recording. Try to set him up with women. And every time I'm like, are you not implying that he's an old gay man through the rest of the show?
They really are. He's like, I was never into sports or anything. I like to wear dresses and drag.
He doesn't say that.
Yeah, he does do that. He says, I like to perform drag and I'm attracted to men. I'm going on a date with a woman later and the storyline will never be brought up again.
He doesn't say that, but
it's heavily implied.
I guess a snooty nerd old man I guess, doesn't have to be gay, but he, like, seems like an effeminate old gay man.
Snooty old smart guy always reads gay.
Right? Old guys who aren't smart have to be, like, country. They have to be like, I'm a dude. I like doing things. Like, you can't expect a man to be educated and straight in this society.
That is the real moral of this episode.
I think so.
Is that gay people are smart and straight people are stupid.
Yeah, because they were like, you know what? Your dad's really stupid, Corey. And he's like, you know what? I am really stupid.
But at least I'm not gay, Nozzle.
Oh my god. Everyone's gonna listen to this and be like, what? Can they say these things? And guess what? We can.
We can't because we're what? Dykes! Well,
I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, if that's allowed in the public opinion.
I'm a dyke. I'm a dyke. I'm a dyke. Riding my trike. I never learned how to use a bike without training wheels. Thank you.
I also like women.
Yeah.
Surprise! Were you shocked? By the way, I've also talked about liking women before. But I also... Do I like men? I guess. I have to admit that I do. Even though I don't like it.
Thanks for joining. Bitches
Thank
Be
you
World.
for joining in our sexuality podcast. So Mr. Feeney says, you can't let your kid stay up late. He has to get up for school and get an education. And Corey's dad says, you don't know what it's like to have kids, old gay man. So you can't imagine what it's like to want to spend time with your child that you can't. It's like, I feel like you can't imagine, like, not having children and having the desire to have them.
You would never know what it's like to have a relationship with anybody, you sad old gay fart. That's what he says.
Pretty much. Yeah, so Corey's dad is like, I'm sad now, and he was right, and I have to take responsibility for this. So, again, once more, I have Eric is so cute, and I'll never drop it. So, there's that. I still think he's so cute. I can't help myself. I don't know. I don't know. I need someone else here to agree that he's cute, and I'm so sad.
You don't get to live in that reality because you're surrounded by people attracted to men all the time.
Okay, well, people don't think Eric is cute.
That's because you have shitty opinions.
Well, there's reasons he's cute in the early seasons, and then there are reasons why he's not cute later. So I get why people don't immediately think of Eric as cute. But in the early seasons, I promise you, he's a very pretty boy who's just like a flirty guy and not a total idiot. And so Mr. Spinelli comes back and says, "There's a fire at the store." Wait a second. Okay. So, before that, sorry, Corey's dad is like, let's go play tennis. And then Spinelli comes in and says, hey, there's a fire at the store, so you should come and fix it. And he's like, you can't come do this all the time, but, like, since it's a fire, fine. And Corey's like, no, it's fine, Dad, it's an emergency.
Okay, I gotta say this. So he said, how much of the store is gone? And he was like, so apparently, according to that, 3/5 of the store has been burned down. This is the entire corporation keeping this family with food on their table, a roof over their head. And the dad is just like, gosh dang it, I guess we'll play tennis another time, kiddo.
Yeah. I feel like it should be way more of an emergency.
I feel like that would be such a debilitating thing to happen that it would like shape the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Remember when
they have to move to a smaller house now, and
yeah,
they have to move to a different neighborhood. Like, he has to rebuild the store. It's his store. It's his life. You know, Mom doesn't have a job.
Does she not?
Mom's gonna have to get a job.
Mom can't take care of you anymore because she's depressed because she can't have the things she used to have. You know?
Exactly. Mom started drinking. So, Corey is outside at night, tossing the ball around by himself. And then it ends up in Feeney's yard, and he hops the fence. And Feeney puts his flashlight on him real quick. And Corey's like, don't shoot me!
Don't shoot me.
Yeah.
There's such a dark subtext to this, to where a debilitating fire is met with apathy, where don't shoot me is something that Corey feels the need to say. He's in a
What kind of
violent,
dark universe are they living in?
they're in one where things are being burned down left and right, where teachers kill their students at will.
Boy meets post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah.
More like.
Boy meets dystopian society.
So luckily, Feeney's a good teacher who doesn't shoot his students.
That's not like
one of
most.
the only good teachers in the world.
Yeah,
who
not
doesn't shoot his students.
not many teachers would do that.
Most of the time in this world, when they fail, this is why failing was such a big deal to his dad. When they fail, they get like executed in front of the class.
Yeah,
so,
it's really sad.
Yeah.
That's why Farkle. Nope, not
Other
Farkle.
one.
It's Minkus.
You'll get it. Yeah, there you go.
That's why Minkus is so adamant to learn everything and stay up and learn, because he's so scared to die.
Yeah, he's like, I can't get executed. Terrifying, don't you all realize? But they're all 11, so they don't realize. And Minkus is 12, so he gets it.
Minkus, he's a baby's baby. He's been around longer.
Yeah, exactly. So he knows the world. He doesn't need to meet the world. He knows the world.
No reason to meet somebody you've known all your life.
Exactly. So, Feeney is sitting in a lawn chair at night in his yard and says, Corey, come sit with me and get yourself a drink.
Please tell me why this man, in the complete darkness, no light, just relaxing in the dark. How did he pour a lot of layers to this man?
He went out in the dark with 2 lawn chairs. He was waiting for Corey to come out there.
I think he was.
There's no other explanation.
He said, all right,
Like,
let's set up both the lawn chairs, pour myself a drink, and just sit here in the complete darkness for God knows.
Maybe Corey...
How long?
Who knows? Why would Corey come outside at night? But he did.
He does it every night in preparation for a confrontation like this.
Yeah, he wants to talk about his daddy issues, so he waits.
I need a therapist, but all I have is my 11-year-old neighbor.
Yeah, he's like, Corey, pour yourself a drink. And I'm like, this is weird. This is going weird places.
Come, sit in the lawn
like
chair. I'll turn off the lights again, and you can drink some of my special potion.
Yeah, I'm like, Mr. Feeney?
Mr. Feeney,
like,
I'm gonna go tell my mom about this.
Yeah. And then, but then he's like, it was just apple juice the whole time. Like, great. And then when Corey's dad comes out, Corey immediately has to go, it's apple juice! I noticed
He's like laying like seductively across the chair with his drink. It's apple juice!
He's like, I wanted whiskey, but it's apple juice. So they're sitting there together in the dark in their lawn chairs with their apple juice. And Feeney...
I feel like that is... one sec. I feel like that is the setup of this podcast. Like, listening to this, that's what I want you to imagine.
That's what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're sitting in the dark on lawn chairs with our cups of apple juice that look like whiskey in our hands. Enjoying a nice beverage. What Feeney does is he talks about his boyhood, and he talks about the war, and how he couldn't have buttered toast except for 2 days a week, and he couldn't get the sneakers he wanted, and it was so sad because he didn't understand the war when he was a child. And Corey's like, this war sounds kind of cool. Why do these European guys want your sneakers so bad? So he says, one night President Truman was coming on the radio, and I said, Dad, can I listen to President Truman on the radio? And his dad said, no, fuck off.
He said, no, fuck you little nozzle. Go back to bed.
You nozzle. You freakoid nozzle. I don't want you.
He said, you're adopted. Now go upstairs.
Yeah, pretty much. And so Feeney's like, I didn't have a dad who cared about me, but you do have a dad who likes you and cares about you. But my dad hated my guts because he knew I was a effeminate nozzle. And,
yeah.
You know. And, oh yeah, Corey, is this what you're going to bring up? Corey says, you took gym class? And he was like, They made me.
No, what I was gonna bring up was that he says, so your dad wanted you to go to bed so you could get an education. And he said, no, he wanted to stay up with his drinking buddies. I just feel like the show is a little dark.
This episode was more adult.
Yeah, it's talking about sucking neck, coochie privileges revoked. Fucking, there's guns, there's fires, there's alcoholism.
There's certainly more. I feel like genuinely, jokes aside, I feel like genuinely it was a more adult episode, especially if it was like on Disney Channel.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't think that would ever, like, some of the stuff they said would ever fly today on the Disney Channel, you know?
Yeah, like, so what? I sucked a neck. Would never make it to Disney again.
No, never. And drinking buddies would never even make it.
Oh, never, no.
So that was interesting, and I think it shows, I mean, there's still the funny stuff, but I think it shows a little more of the show can go in a more serious direction. Not to bring the energy down, but so Feeney basically says, which I agree with him, which I think what's wrong with this education system today is that he was like, education isn't just collecting obscure facts, collecting knowledge and whatever and philosophy over the years, and it like doesn't, these small things won't necessarily matter in the long run, and being with your family is important, which is interesting. I don't know, it was interesting.
It is very interesting. I feel like it's a good stance to say you got to learn facts for the sake of, your future, but also education is, you need to have social and emotional education.
Yeah, very true.
Our minds.
That's pretty much it. That's the episode.
And you forgot
what else is
You
there?
forgot the most important part of the whole show.
What did I forget?
That Mrs. Corey's mom said, "You're welcome."
Oh, yeah.
You are welcome to coochie access.
And he was like, yes, God.
He said in the James Charles voice, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Whoa, yeah. Which is the moral of the story. Yeah. So what do you think the life lesson is?
The life lesson is you gotta do your responsibilities and you gotta, go to school and work hard at school, but don't be so focused on these things when you're just a kid that you forget to spend time with your loved ones. And they can't forget that either. That was a good episode. It said you need to balance work and play.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we want a different rating system for this one? Or do we want to do 11 years? He didn't talk about once about it was 11 years old.
Sad. I forgot how old he was. What's another number that was used in this episode?
I don't think there was one. Do we want to give it a grade?
It's how many letters out of all the letters in the word store. So is it store, or store?
I'm giving it a whole store.
I'm going to give it a whole store, too.
It was a really good
I felt like it was a good episode that gave you a lot to think about.
Plug your social media. Do it.
Okay. Again, this is Caroline. You can follow me on Twitter at DykeDolly. DYKEDOLLY.
Twitter is Rogerina. And my Instagram, which is mostly art, is Crumblepunk with a K. You can email the podcast at bsmeetworldpod@gmail.com. Send us a message. What?
bsmeetworldpod.
What?
It's funny.
What's so funny about that?
Sorry, say it again where I don't laugh.
No, it's fine. I can cut that out. You laughed weirdly late, and I don't know why you laughed.
I was trying not to laugh, but then I kept thinking about it.
Well, it's like bees, but I need to not clarify that it's not like honeybees or like bumblebees. It's BS Meet World Pod.
It sounds funny to me. BS Meet World Pod.
I don't understand. See you next time on Bitches Meet World. Peace. And their feet are gross. I know that about ballet.
Yeah, nasty
Like,
feet, lesbian fucking, and huge calf muscles. That's all you gotta know. That's it.